morning, everyone. I'm Crystal Cruz. It's 11 a.m. If you've stepped outside, you may have noticed a lot of white stuff on the roads. That's not snow, that's ice. And as the day goes on, it's only going to get more dangerous. Truck drivers know that all too well. That's why they're parking at truck stops all over town. Stephen Pepper joins us from one stop in Midland County.
Yeah, guys, I'm here at a truck stop off FM 1788 here in Odessa. And as you can see, this parking lot filled with snow and ice, and it's dangerous conditions that have a lot of these truck drivers hunkered down for who knows how long, 24, 48 hours, I'm told. They have their shipments ready to go, whether that is sand or even onions, but I'm told they're not going anywhere anytime soon because they value safety first. These are wide-body trucks, so one wrong turn can not only endanger themselves or others. Now, I spoke to many truck drivers who are going to be here till possibly Monday. They are staying warm. They have their trucks running all day. Feels like -1 out, but they said to keep themselves entertained, a lot of Netflix, a lot of streaming, and a lot of movies. Guys.
Well, anytime we have snow and ice in our forecast, road crews are busy treating highways and elevated areas, but when the roads are bad, it's just best to stay inside. But if you can't avoid getting out, Rebecca Lopez has some tips to navigate those slippery roads.
You'd like to reduce your speed by about 1/3 of what the speed limit is.
Corporal Derek Sheriff is a driving instructor for Arlington Police and used to be a truck driver, so he knows what to do if you find yourself on a slick road and your car starts to skid.
First thing is let off the accelerator, and then if you start skidding, steer in the direction of the skid.
Whatever you do, don't slam on your brakes and spin your steering wheel.
You'll end up spinning out and doing donuts, could roll your vehicle.
And he says don't drive too close to other vehicles.
The normal distance on spacing, we say the 2 car lengths, 2 seconds, double that, 4 car lengths.
If you cause an accident because you're driving recklessly, you could get a ticket, even on ice.
Driving too fast in unsafe conditions.
If you do have a wreck, it could take time for you to get help.
If you get in an accident, the first responders, fire, EMS, tow trucks, everybody's going to be super busy, and we may not be able to get to you for an hour or two.
Police say if you can, just stay off the roads and avoid the whole mess.
While there's ice on the roads now, get ready. More will be piling up on the roads later today. Andy, what are we looking at?
Good morning, everyone. It's certainly been just a very bitterly cold and kind of nasty start. Taking a look at the city of Big Spring, looks like a winter wonderland. I anticipate a lot of this accumulation has more so just been ice accumulation from a little bit more of that sleet. There's been a few flurries around the region, but for the most part, a lot of us has been seeing a lot more of that ice beginning to build up. So hazardous travel out the door, I would just highly recommend against traveling. A lot of us are into the single digits in teens. Any exposed skin, if you are out there more than 30 minutes plus, that could easily lead to cases of hypothermia. So it is good if you are going to be outside, especially if you want to play with the snow that's going to accumulate later in the day. Make sure you bundle up those kids up and also bundle up all areas of exposed skin. Otherwise, we are trending just a bit cooler. We had a bit more of an earlier transition with some sleet, but with some of the freezing rain that we did see a little bit overnight, especially with the rain throughout much of the day on Friday, that has led to a lot more of the slick conditions out the door. Otherwise, what is next? It's going to be another wave of activity that we are anticipating. Winter storm warnings remain in effect as we head into Sunday afternoon. That's when that activity will begin to move out, but the cold temperatures are really going to stick with us even heading into Sunday and Monday. Extreme cold warnings are in effect across the Permian Basin as temperatures below 4 degrees for those wind chills remain possible, nearly up to near 7-degree wind chills along for the cold weather advisory. 15 into Midland, it feels like that looks like around near 12 degrees, -3 into Big Spring. That's what it feels like. 13 degrees out in Hobbs this morning. It is quite chilly, and a little bit of some fog out into near areas of Fort Stockton and Alpine this morning. More so kind of a bit of a haze from just a little bit of that kind of sleet that's falling, mixing in with a little bit of those snow flurries. I expect an earlier transition for our northern counties out into Eddy and Lee County for more to be more just snow. Already snowing quite a bit further north. Kind of a bit of a low though, still just a little bit of some sleet and freezing rain into near areas of Terrell County, pushing in along into near I-10. A cold rain further west. Otherwise, we're going to start to see more of that transition to snow as we go throughout much of the day. I think for the Permian Basin, we'll stick with mostly sleet, at least until we head into the later portions of the evening, early heading into Sunday. Southeast New Mexico will get that earlier snow transition alongside into new areas like Big Spring, Lamesa, Andrews. I think we could start getting it heading more into late tonight along into new areas of I-10. I think it's going to be more so tomorrow morning when we're going to be able to see a little bit more of that transition to snow, pretty much sticking with that freezing rain, creating more of those slick conditions, and we'll get that sleet transition before we do end up seeing that snow. But otherwise, for areas of the Presidio Valley, it's just going to be a cold rain as we go throughout much of the day. As we go throughout the remainder of your afternoon, taking you to around Saturday, 12 p.m., we'll begin to see that activity begin to build up as we saw on satellite and radar. This will be a kind of multiple waves of energy that we're going to be getting as we go throughout the remainder of the day. Stopping the clock at Saturday, 5 p.m. will still be kind of more of a mix across interior areas of I-20, especially further south along interior I-10. But our northern counties will start to get more of that transition to snow. And with the other waves of energy we're going to be expecting, I expect really as we head into around the late night hours into midnight, that's when we're going to be more predominantly snow, especially north of I-20. Further south, still going to be a bit of a slick kind of commute, especially when it comes to that freezing rain accumulation. But further south, we'll begin to see more of that snow transition as we head into the earlier portions of the morning, with this activity beginning to move out as we'll have drier air pumping in across West Texas as we head into the late morning into the early afternoon. But even then, conditions are going to be clear, but it's going to be quite frigid out there, especially with the rain we already received, the freezing rain, and now even some of the sleet. A lot of us is kind of falling into that moderate category. Around 8 a.m. at Midland International, we already recorded up to near 4/10 of snow and sleet and ice accumulations. That is a lot of ice, especially leading us into this moderate category. That means there's already been reports of a few power outages. There was a lot of slick roadways out there. When I was coming in this morning, the travel necessarily wasn't good, and we did see a few cars end up slipping out. So I just highly would advise against traveling, as a lot of us are falling into that moderate category. But for our northern counties, whether it's going to be a bit more of that earlier snow transition, I expect it to stay around 1/10 of an inch to about 1/4 of an inch. And I do anticipate, especially along interior areas of I-10 further south, I think travel could potentially get up towards that 1/4 to near 1/2 inch of ice accumulations. Otherwise, for our northern counties, that's kind of where I think the best opportunity of snow is going to be, between around 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches isolated totals, upwards of 3 inches. The further south that you go, those snow totals do tend to fall off. Otherwise, this system will move out again heading into around Sunday afternoon. We'll stay below freezing heading into Sunday, keeping a close eye on Monday, as most of us could potentially stay below freezing also.
Andy, thanks. Well, right now, as he said, the roads are slick and icy. You can actually see it, but even more dangerous, black ice. Here's the difference.
Black ice is one of the most dangerous driving conditions out there, in part because of how slippery it is, but also because it's so hard to spot. Black ice is a clear glaze of ice that can form on roads, sidewalks, and driveways. Because it forms without creating bubbles, it blends into the surface, becoming nearly impossible to see. Really, the only way to see it is noticing a glossy sheen in the right light conditions. But you can know where it is and when it is likely to form, mostly in the morning and evening hours when there is no sun up to heat up the roadway, and on bridges and overpasses where cold air can flow over the top and bottom. So what should you do if you hit black ice? First up, stay calm. Do not hit the brakes. Ease your foot off the accelerator to slow yourself down. Try to keep your steering wheel straight. If you start feeling your car slide, gently turn your steering wheel into the right direction of the slide. That will allow you to remain more in control. And the good news is the black ice is often patchy and your tires should hit traction soon.
Well, with these frigid temperatures, it's a good idea to drip your faucets inside your house. Extreme cold can cause pipes to freeze and burst, leading to costly water damage. Professionals recommend letting faucets drip and opening cabinet doors near exterior walls.
This is on the outside wall. You want to go ahead and open the cabinet doors. This allows the warm air from the building to get inside and to these exposed pipes. On the faucet, you don't want it wide open, but you want just enough dripping that the water's running through those pipes, making sure that you have movement in the pipes to keep that water from freezing.
He has prevention is far cheaper than cleanup after a pipe burst. If you think one of your pipes has frozen or burst, turn off your water and don't try to fix it yourself. Call a professional right away. Well, I hope all of you are staying cozy and warm during this Arctic freeze. Here at NewsWest 9, we want to know how you're all doing. If you have any photos or videos of weather conditions, please send them to us. at 432-567-9991 or to our NewsWest 9 Facebook page. Well, a lot of places are closed down. If you want to see the full list of closures, that includes churches, schools, businesses, just head over to our website, newswest9.com. We are constantly updating the page to include schools and businesses that'll be closed due to the weather. That includes churches. If you know a business you would like to send to our page, be sure to email us at news@newswest9.com. Well, NewsWest 9 is your go-to headquarters for the severe weather. Through the weekend, be sure to download our NewsWest 9 Plus app to make sure you know about the latest weather warnings in our area. You can scan the QR code on your screen with your phone, download it off the Apple Store or Google Play for free. We'll be back in an hour with another weather update.